Casual discussions with the boys. Thank you, Zoom.
Leave meeting.
Welcome back to another episode of Casual Discussions with the boys. Thank you, Chance.
1 minute.
Freaking hell. Episode 26. And it's good to be back. It's good to have the full crew. And I don't know why I'm so nervous. I guess it's just been so long since we've done a casual discussion.
This is well overdue.
I'm also making up my answers on the spot.
Well, that's not
Same.
new.
I'm doing the same.
Nothing new.
Thanos' bedside table this time as my weapon.
First of all, now, have we all seen Endgame yet?
Oh,
Nah, no spoilers.
All right.
I'm still up to
Gotta check.
Iron Man.
You're stuck on Iron Man because you love it so much.
Shang-Chi though,
Like-
so.
There are more movies
Malika.
past Iron Man than Shang-Chi.
Malika, I just want to let everyone know for Malika's sake for this podcast, you can pick Ant-Man if you want. He's in this movie. Or Hawkeye. Sorry, Hawkeye's in this movie. You can, if you want to, he's in some of these movies, you can pick him for one of the categories.
I genuinely feel like Malika's got tunnel vision when he watches these movies, and he only actually sees anything when Hulk comes on the screen.
Yeah, I know.
He's asleep.
Bro, and wouldn't have been possible without the Hulk, bro.
It's tunnel vision for Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther.
And Black Widow.
And then that's a different tunnel vision.
One side of it.
Yeah, one eye's on that, but then one eye's on the rest.
That's a
And it's
different
like-
tunnel.
It's a dual tunnel.
Dual tunnel.
Okay. We are finally finishing
Off to a
off
good
phase
start.
3. We are finally up to date and entering phase 4. I guess this podcast is a bit of closure for us as we end the Infinity Saga and move on into phase 4. But as we have done with the first 2 phases, we're doing our usual fantasy draft. I love doing these. We get pretty creative with these, and it's funny to think about the movies that could have been made with our picks. All right. So, in regards to the categories, just to repeat again, they are hero, then villain, weapon, side character, setting, and finally the quote. And then at the end, just think about it throughout the pod if you haven't already. Think about your phase rating or Tobey Maguire rating for phase 3, and where it ranks amongst the 3. There's only 3, so yeah, won't be hard
Look,
to rank.
I've not preloaded these picks. I'm just winging it.
Our first category is hero, and the first pick for this is Mr. Left Field, David Fitzpatrick, Mr. Solid A.
Oh no!
I picked the whole
I
crew.
actually was thinking, please don't be me.
Oh, this,
Mr. Mark Ruffalo.
this was the draft order set. What a
Oh my
solid
God.
start. All right, well,
How's Rio going?
bringing it all back. Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
feel like we need to do as many callbacks in this episode as we can.
100%.
Okay, well, because you usually have like 5th or 6th pick, so I don't know. It's like the random generator thing I did. Knew you hadn't gotten first pick, so
I think
Here we go.
that the only thing that we can be sure of is that everyone else's picks as of right now are safe.
yeah.
David is going to choose the most left field character.
Unless you picked Happy. You're good.
Well, in that case,
Just pick
no.
a Russian guy from Ant-Man for sure.
What Bubby?
Is that your one? No spoilers. All right, David,
All
go.
So my guy, okay, it is left field. It's not too left field, and I've chosen him before. Is Hawkeye.
Oh, wait. Do I need to re-explain the rules?
In the
You do,
biggest
you do.
phase, he chooses
You do.
Hawkeye.
I mean,
You do.
okay, so one of the
Are you-
rules is you can't pick a pick that you've picked before,
Wait, you mean like
Heavy.
from previous?
even
I
in
don't
phase
remember.
Hold on a
Yeah,
minute.
we actually, you
Let's
picked
not look
love that.
past the fact that Hawkeye's a side character, to be honest.
I love that rule. That's a good
Not even a
rule.
hero.
but
Who isn't a side character at this point?
I think
There's
it's
so many.
All the other people.
I think it's
All right.
hilarious that of all the characters you could have picked again without acknowledgement of the rules is Hawkeye.
Yeah, try again.
So many good characters introduced and revisited. And David goes,
Hey,
Oh,
David,
faithful.
you could say Ronan because he's different technically.
That is true.
Yeah,
That is
that's
true.
Yeah. Well, actually, briefly, why Hawkeye? Even though you can't choose him,
I think it's
like this
to be
Spain.
honest, I don't think there's any point me saying, because when I actually thought of it, I thought deja vu. I've literally repeated myself 10 times throughout this entire casual discussion. So, like, I'd feel weird if I just go over it again because I've said it before.
Fair
It's
enough.
like you're watching the same movie over and over again.
Like copy and paste is like discussion.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Malik has commented saying that your one choice has nullified the rest of your choices.
They're just they're irrelevant from now on.
Please pick something from Guardians 2.
Can I just say quickly that when that chat thing popped up, I thought it said Mariam. I was like, who the hell is Mariam in this chat? Do you just have a third party?
Mariam Malika.
Mark converted to Judaism and changed his name.
Marianne, Malika's sister's on the line as well.
Where?
Even she reckons Fitz's choice is wrong.
All right, so I've been able to buy time throughout this entire. So I don't think I've picked this guy last. So Robert, if you bring the rules down again, I'm officially leaving this chat. So my guy, and this is in left field. It's actually going to be Iron Man.
First pick.
That's big. That surprises me more than the Hawkeye.
First
That
pick.
surprises me more than the Hawkeye pick, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Someone had to choose.
Do I say why?
Yeah.
Well, it goes.
All right, next.
Let's move on. Let's move on. But there's nothing needs to be said. Well, like I said, I'm constantly copying and pasting my answers. So I'll copy and paste my answer from Iron Man 1, which is that Tony's arc throughout this entire thing has been, like I've said, it's like, in my view, he died in the cave. And this whole thing's been like this afterlife penance that's been leading towards his death. It's like this retribution in a way. And the way it's paid off in this entire phase is just perfect. You go to Civil War, you go to Endgame. Like, even though I was being a bit of a troll in the Endgame podcast, one of my favorite scenes is that scene with him and Steve, where he's like, I told you, we need to put a suit around the world, and look what's happened. And his arc even speaks to today, like the whole idea of, like, because his whole thing is, this is what I believe. This is how I believe to be a hero. Yes, it's wrong. Yes, it goes against civil freedoms, but this is my logic because this is the way I need to do it. And he just brings such a complexity to his character. So, yeah, it's got to be him because he just brings such a. I think out of all of them, he has so many facets, and he's just achieved so much in his whole story arc. Like, even like ending it off with his daughter. Like, just when you thought Tony couldn't do, anymore, it's like, how much more can we draw from his character? They bring this whole relationship with his daughter and how that relates. So, yeah.
Basically, what you're saying is Vin Diesel and then Iron Man.
Yeah, it's Iron Man. It's Iron Man and then family, and that's basically it.
It's the Iron family.
Oh, great. Brilliant choice. Perfect.
David, I couldn't hear. Did you pick Iron Fist? Was that your hero? Good choice. Good choice, David. Iron Fist. Great show.
Very nice.
Second pick for hero.
Someone I haven't picked.
Yeah.
Brothel. No. I'm going to go Captain America.
Okay. Wow.
It, speaks for itself in a way.
Ah, okay.
No.
Gotcha.
Obviously, throughout the whole Endgame itself, that's like massive. Especially, we all know the scene in Endgame where he picks up the hammer. That's obviously like next level for everyone watching. I didn't expect that at all. I heard some people say they were waiting for that moment before they watched the film, but I had no idea that was going to happen. personally, I was a bit pissed off that he touched Thor's hammer, but that's all right.
Jealous.
Pretty good. But no, just even like Civil War and obviously even Infinity War, like just the way I didn't think they could make him grow any more than he already did, but he literally went from like even after Winter Soldier, I was like, wow, like that's an incredible film. He's such a cool character. And I liked him from there. I didn't really like him that much before. And I liked him from then. And then he just grew better and better. I really love the beard, love the long hair, sexy stuff, good stuff. But yeah, obviously he's just that person who, for me, no, he doesn't have like, yeah, he's got strength. He's obviously a really good fighter. Like he just goes head on into battles, like literally no fear. It's incredible to see. And that scene when he runs down with Black Panther in Infinity War, that's like one of my favorite scenes. Like they're literally like, you know, racing each other. They're racing each other to get to the kills. Like that's just the bravery of him. The leadership, the never back down attitude, all of that just makes him literally one of the best heroes ever. Like he literally brings everyone together. Love his speeches, especially in Endgame. Iconic speeches. Like pep talks are like next level, Coach Carter stuff. And yeah, like, you know, that's not too much else I can say. He's just an incredible fighter, incredible leader. No one else better to play that role. Like Chris Evans was born to that role, just the same way Robert Downey Jr. was to Iron Man, plus, you know, all that. So yeah, that's my pick for hero.
Awesome.
Can I just say, based on what you said, do you think that Captain America should have been and never back down the movie?
I'll see you more.
Isn't J1 Sue in that? He's in that too, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And Quicksilver's in it too, from the X-Men.
I've also got one of my favorite games, which is if you substitute this person for this person, is it a better or worse movie? So let's play substitute take Chris Evans and put him in Step Up instead of Channing Tatum. Is it a better or worse movie?
No, it's better.
Well, if you're putting Channing Tatum as Captain America, then that's a disaster.
Yeah,
that
true.
is a poor casting.
But I reckon
Like
Chris
you-
Evans can dance.
Yeah,
I could see him step up.
that ass would be perfect.
America's ass.
Yeah.
It's rather fitting that our first two choices are essentially the faces of the MCU, or some of the main faces. Like they got a lot of screen time, a lot of development, and a lot of the stories based around their journey. So it makes sense that we got these for the first two picks. Okay, moving on. Third pick, which is me, Big Zeta.
That's me.
So I don't know if anyone remembers this, but a couple podcasts ago, I can't remember which one, might have been Iron Man 3. I was like, my phase 3 is just going to be a tribute to Iron Man without picking Iron Man. So I've planned this out for ages, and this fantasy draft of mine is kind of an Iron Man sequel, a tribute sequel in a sense, but without Iron Man. Yep, obviously I just said that, but yeah. So my pick for hero is interesting in a sense, and I've gone with Doctor Strange.
Tony Stark.
Nice.
That's a
Nice.
good pick.
Season Strange.
So
Need your help.
Nice.
I
I'm
feel like
happy with that pick.
I thought for sure it was going to be Captain Marvel.
I hope she's not on any of these lists.
You're going
Yeah,
to be
don't- never
disappointed
say
in me,
never.
my boy.
Okay, well, anyways,
Good choice, Lance. Good choice.
Doctor Strange is very similar to Iron Man in some senses, where he's a character with a lot of pride, ego,
Money.
somewhat conceited, money, watches.
Did you say ego?
Yeah, oh, not that ego. No Guardians 2 in this either.
We forget about that ego.
But and he's someone who kind of gets humbled, brought down, and becomes a hero. I like that. Doctor Strange kind of mirrors that, except compared to Iron Man, I feel like Doctor Strange, he makes mistakes, but he does it with finesse and class. So in a sense, maybe he's a bit more better at delivering those
Everybody
things.
makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And everybody has those days.
Except for Iron Man. But anyways, in regards
It
to
is good, mate.
carrying,
Ever.
we should write a song. Maybe, I don't know.
Iron Man makes mistakes.
Well, yeah, in regards, okay, so that's his value within the MCU. In regards to my like Iron Man movie I'll probably call it the Iron Doctor or something like that. And it's, Doctor Strange.
What about Dr. Man? I'd say that. I'd
What
pay
about this? What
premium
about this?
pricing.
Here we go. I've got a zero. I have it.
Iron Strange.
Doctor Strange. ... Iron deficiency.
Oh
Hands
my
are
God.
shaking the whole movie.
Is that the guy dead now?
He's just fatigued the whole movie.
He's constantly just like, where is Tony? I'm not having enough red meat. Where is Tony?
Iron infusions each month.
Tony's suit is made out of red meat.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
It's like the Lady
Sorry.
Gaga suit that she wore to those awards show. That's actual Tony's outfit. That's his new costume.
Oh my gosh.
That's definitely, I'll consider that for weapon.
Yeah.
read it in my next fanfic.
We should add another category of outfit. Okay, yeah. So in my
I've
hypothetical
lost it.
movie, Doctor Strange serves as an added magical element because obviously he introduces all that in through his world. So we get that, but in my movie, because Iron Man's all about tech, it mixes those things together, and I'll dive deeper in that in my next few picks. But yeah, Doctor Strange, I choose him. I think in my hypothetical as well, it'll play well into the fact that Doctor Strange kind of, he was the last one. He knew what was going to happen to Iron Man, so I feel like there'll be a bit of guilt there in my hypothetical. So yeah.
Just telling him to fly into the sky.
Yeah. So that's the whole movie, him trying to say this isn't what it meant.
Just fly
It's so
up.
tough too. Like if you think about it, like you realize that this major hero / character is going to die, and you've just got to keep quiet about it the whole time.
Yeah.
Like that's so tough, and not even try to find another way out. It's like
I
there's
think
like 14 billion other possibilities.
yeah.
It's
One
just
of my-
lazy.
It's just lazy. One of my favorite interactions between them is in Infinity War when Doctor Strange says he'll do anything to keep the stone safe, including sacrifice someone else. But in the movie, he did end up saving Iron Man's life in Infinity War. So there was a bit of development there, and again, it's
Just to
between
sacrifice him later.
yeah, just to sacrifice him later, essentially. But like I thought it's interesting their interactions with one another in regards to the greater good type thing. So that's why Doctor Strange is my pick. I think he's a super cool character. Similar vibes to Iron Man, but again, a different kind of take on it because he's a doctor, and who are we to judge?
What a strange pick.
Again, who are we to
He's
judge?
a doctor. Who are we to judge? Who would judge our medical profession?
Mr. Doctor. Oh yeah. All right. Next with fourth pick, Malika.
Malika.
All right, Chance, who do you pick?
Malika's going to go for all the coloured Hulks.
So there's Red Hulk, and then there's Blue Hulk,
Basically the Infinity Stones.
And there's
Then there's-
khaki Hulk.
and then there's Hulk's son.
Oh, son.
Malika.
Hulk's son.
Malika,
Ah,
before
Hulk's
you,
son.
Is it
before you make your pick, are you just going to are you going to talk about Black Panther and the score of the movie now, or do you want to do that later? Like, at what point do you want to do that?
No, that will come later.
Oh, okay, cool.
Can
I'll
we
wait
make
for
that
it
a
then.
category? Actually,
No, we
Soundtrack
can't because you're the only one.
Ah.
You're the only one that cares. So no, we
Because
can't.
some of us have to go to bed.
So my favorite specific score minute was at 53 minutes and 47 seconds.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings too.
Uh,
That's it. Viggo Mortensen as Doctor Strange. Let's be honest. It's the
He's
best.
Captain
I can
America.
see that.
I can see that too, actually.
All right, my pick. Fairly obvious. I can't pick Hulk. I think I chose him before. I can't remember. Zeta took Strange, so they're two of my top three. But my choice will be the Black
Seems
Panther.
like I'm always thanking
Can
you
I,
for
sorry,
something.
quickly, can I just ask?
Woo!
Your top, so who were your
We
top
don't
two?
do that here.
This isn't like this isn't MCU, but as Marvel heroes, in my top five are Hulk, Strange, Black Panther, and Punisher.
But if there were no rules, your top pick would have been the Hulk.
No, I wouldn't
And
pick
it
him.
would have been Doctor Strange.
Strange would be a pick.
Also, are you saying it's like interchangeable between the three, or is that in order?
Yeah, my top 5 move around. It's not set.
Captain Marvel's close next.
So if you could, would you have picked John Bernthal's The Punisher?
Yeah, his Punisher's beast.
I was going to say, Dave,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to get off dial-up. I cannot understand what you're saying.
All I heard was John Benthal.
Half the podcast is going to be us.
Tell someone to get off the phone, David.
I'd be cutting. He'd be gone if someone was on the phone. He just wouldn't be here.
All right,
All right.
Panther. Sorry.
Black Panther. I've probably mentioned some of these when we actually did the movie, but when they announced Black Panther, I'd been reading some of the comics and stuff, and I was already a huge fan of Panther. So for them to actually then turn it into a movie was great. I was very, very keen for that movie. And once they started announcing the actors and actresses and things and the storyline, etc., it hyped me up massive. And then the trailer came out and all that. And then we actually watched, and that movie was like, there was lots of not controversy, but there were very mixed reviews because some people weren't fans, but some people loved it. Zeta's obviously a fan. But it was the character of Black Panther. Like, he has everything. Like, he had the wit. He's got the kingliness. Like, he's every trait. Like, he's sort of a mix of some of the characters with the traits that he brings to the movies. And that was even before, and like that was before we found out everything with Chadwick, R.I.P. And like, I think that just, in my eyes, just as an actor and the character, I think that just skyrocketed him pretty much to the top for me. And the first introduction that we get of him in Civil War, like, that was awesome. Like, that introduction was perfect for me. Like, it wasn't even his movie. He wasn't one of the main characters. But in nearly all the scenes he was in, he steals the show, whether it be from the action scenes or from the dialogue that happens in that scene. Soundtrack is amazing as well. I can't go past that. Like, for me, that just like, that makes it, like, it just makes it so much better. And then it just makes you like Black Panther even more. And then we see it, like you were saying, Grant, with that scene charging in Wakanda. Like, most kings and stuff will hang back, let the soldiers, like all the commanders and that, they'll let all their soldiers run in. But he's literally front line with Captain America, just charging headfirst into every battle. And all he cares about is that his country stays safe. Yeah. He doesn't care about himself. He's completely selfless in all the battles. Like, he's got enemies actually everywhere, but he's in there right before his personal guard. Like, their whole life is to guard their king. But he's like, nah, stuff this. I'm going out right in front of you and leading the charge. So for me, that was one of the best scenes for Panther. And just his interactions with everyone. Like, I think there's some Avengers that he doesn't interact with. I think there's some he never has dialogue with. But the ones that he does, like, it just works well. Like, we see him talking with Nat and stuff like that, and it just all works quite well. It's almost a shame that we don't get a scene with, like, him, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, like Bruce Banner. Like, you just have all of those super smart and ego and all the egos together. I think that would have been a really good scene if it had happened. But yeah, that is why.
He says one line to Hawkeye the whole time. It's just, I don't care. In Civil War.
Doesn't he talk to him in Endgame?
Endgame, yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, he's like, when he asks for the gauntlet, he calls him Clint.
He calls him Clint.
Right. Yeah.
I hated that line. I hated it.
I think it's awesome. I think it's
hey, pipe down over there. All right? Yeah.
No, because they're paying off. They're paying off. No, they're just trying to pay off some random line from Civil War. It's like, Clint, we've never spoken, but now I refer to you as Clint.
We really talked about this when we reviewed Black Panther.
Yeah, Malika justified it last time. It's huge because he's a king, and he did.
David, we've talked enough about
David,
Hawkeye already.
Of all people, actually, of all people to be dissing this scene, I feel like you should be the one praising it the most because it's freaking T'Challa giving Hawkeye, acknowledging Hawkeye, which is what you've done twice.
I also just feel like David
face
has no
fantasy
right.
drafts.
David has no right to ridicule anyone's choices.
Look, David, bottom line,
Here we go.
man's passed away. Show some respect.
I think no, but like the point of that was that how much T'Challa has developed since Civil War into someone who's actually regarding other people.
Yeah, he respects the Avengers. After just
So-
he's arrogant in that one because he thinks he's better, which he is. But
Do we still think that Black Panther
Is he?
will
Because David picked him number one, Malika. Tried to. Man, I don't know.
do we still think that Black Panther will be part of like the next big three? Because I reckon if Chadwick was still here, then 100%, right?
yeah,
Like, he's
he would have been leading the new Avengers. But I don't think
I
they'll
feel
take
like
that
Doctor
route.
Strange would still be leading, but I feel like he would have been like it would have been like a tandem Doctor Strange Black Panther. But I don't think they put Shuri up against or up next to Doctor Strange.
No, I think they'll keep it more Wakanda central. I think even in the comics and that, I don't think she really strays like in with the Avengers. It would be cool to see her sort of with the other smart people, but I don't think it will happen.
Like Siri.
I mean, but in saying that though, I know this is a soft spot, boys. Sorry, but I know none of you have seen Shang-Chi, but like,
Come on.
Spoilers.
in Shang-Chi, they don't actually use a story from the comics. They use elements, but it doesn't actually follow a set storyline that's from the comics, and they've actually branched off to make their own. So I don't see why they wouldn't do the same with Shuri.
David
Especially
knows.
after they take
David would
all
know.
this
He
time-
read it.
Especially after they've taken
I know
all this time to
everything.
build up Black Panther.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they'll just be like, oh, because
Yeah.
Chadwick isn't here, we're just gonna get rid of that character completely.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that's my choice and my reasoning.
I guess we'll see how the second Black Panther goes. Like,
Yeah, true.
potentially they gauge off that, or unless Marvel already has something pre-planned. But yeah,
Who knows?
I think the last thing I want to say in regards to Malika's choice, he said something about how T'Challa brought, or Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa brought a lot of character traits that all the heroes have had in his own way, like really well. He delivered them well. I actually think he had, as well as that, he had even more to bring. So I was like really looking forward to the sequels and stuff. Very excited. It's
100%.
just, like, because you saw it in his other movies. What was that baseball one he did? But yeah, he has great range as an actor. But I guess it is a shame we won't be able to see it in future movies. But what we got was pretty awesome. So yeah. Were you going to say something, David?
All I was going to say is they've become very liberal with how they choose their Avengers. It's like if you show any form of a superpower, it's like, oh yeah, you're an Avenger. Like,
Yeah,
who,
that's true.
what? Like when it first started, you had like Shield was the oversight, Nick Fury was the point guy, Iron Man and Cap were the two guys, and it just goes down. Now it's just everyone. It's like you got powers, you're an Avenger.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
in the comics, there are like 87 million different
Yeah,
iterations
there's a
of
lot
the
of
Avengers. so-
there's lots of different Avenger teams and things. So
Yeah, but are they really even a team? Like,
they are
It's
called
just-
the new Avengers. So
no, but I mean, like in the movies, it's like is like Doctor Strange, Black Panther, they all classified like they actually part of the Avengers. They're like, oh, we just assume you're an Avenger because you got superpowers. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's,
It's the next generation.
They had the same approach to when Thor came to Earth. Like, we need him on our side, like now. So,
Obviously.
yeah, but they don't all
That's
live in
just
like
his
an
hair.
Avengers compound together, and they're not all
Mm.
hanging out. And like, it's kind of like have the name Avenger, but I still do my own thing. If
well,
that makes sense.
leading into Endgame, the Avengers had disbanded, so nobody could really join yet. And then it came to a point where everyone had to step up and be together. So we don't really know exactly. At the moment, there's no really established Avengers. But are
It's
you
kind of
talking?
like no, it's kind of like now. It's like Avengers is not a team; it's a people. Like that's how I look at this. It's just a philosophy of life.
Oh yeah, because they just blew up the world. So
This brings us to our sermon portion. The church is not a building.
it's a people.
There's too many. There's too many questions, bro. Like, surely by now you know that Kevin Feige is going to do something that makes you go, "Oh, man, Shuri, she's an Avenger. Like, you trust what's going to happen, man. Like, if he decided to go, I'm releasing Howard the Duck and he's going to be an Avenger in a new movie, I'd be like, oh yeah, cool. He's going to do it. It's going to be awesome. Like, just trust it. It's gonna work out.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised Howard the Duck is an Avenger at this point. But I think everyone in the world is an Avenger at this point. It's like we are all Avengers.
Kevin Bacon.
That's the message they're trying to show. Kevin
We're all
Bacon.
And Alvarez, if you would like to give your hero.
Okay, yeah, actually,
Yeah,
I don't think it's my turn, is it?
Grant,
It's you than me.
Grant made a point. We've
heavy.
almost spent an hour on one K.
I'll try to go quick.
I was just trying to be funny.
Without having too much thought, I'm picking a hero that pretty much lived in Phase 3. I'm picking Spider-Man. I think
Big fan.
personally,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, we'll talk about
this
it later.
hurts to say, but
Hey,
I
everyone.
think he's the
Good
best
job.
Spider-Man that we've had to date over Tobey.
I agree.
Again, controversial, but for me, it's I can't even remember his name. Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and then Andrew Garfield, IMO. I think, yeah, he's just the development that we saw even in the couple of movies that he had in this phase was really cool. And I think just the way that they're setting him up to sort of be bigger than a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is cool to see as well. So Spider-Man, he's cool. I like him. My pick.
Nice. Actually, in my hypothetical movie, he was like one of my considerations, but he's already a bit of a protege, so we won't go there. All right. Chance, last pick for hero.
I did have Spidey there. He was. I have other choices, but he was there. He was there. Now, look, guys, I'm going to pick Keanu Reeves as John Constantine. As my no, that's DC. That's DC.
Yes.
No, I'm not doing that. I did look. I'm not going to joke around. I did have Captain Marvel on my short list, but I'm not going to pick her. She's like, I needed one more pick to be taken, and I would have had to go Captain Marvel. I'm not taking her. Relax. I'm going to buy you a poster, Zeta, to put in the back of your room there, the Captain Marvel movie poster. No. I am going to go. Look, I think the first two picks, being David and Grant, kind of took heroes that were probably more stronger, in my opinion, in phase 1 and phase 2, but then they got their homage paid at the end of phase 3. And then the rest of us have picked characters that, being Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man, that were like, I feel like Marvel were really pushing in phase 3, like pushing into the future. And so my character is going to be the last one that I think was out of these characters that they were pushing and is going to be big in phase 4. And that's Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man is a character that they brought in originally, I think, for what we all thought was comedic relief. But I think we've now noticed that they keep putting him in movies that seem to follow up big events in the MCU. And I don't think it's not by mistake. I think they're actually doing it because they want us to realize that even though he's comedic release, Ant-Man, I think that there's so much more that he has to play in the MCU because of the things that the Pym particles and all that stuff bring to the MCU. And so, look, I'm definitely excited the most for Spider-Man No Way Home. But after that, I think my next film that I'm pumped for would be Ant-Man Quantumania. Like, obviously, we know Kang's in it and stuff like that. But I just think what he brings to that role, what the actor brings to that role, what Ant-Man is as a character, I think that's the reason he's my hero choice. I just think he did a really good job at solidifying himself in this phase. So, yeah.
Ant-Man. And yes, I am again, keen for that next one. Because Quantumania, Kang. Heck yeah, freaking Kang. All right.
Did anyone have Wonder on their list?
No, I was about to say that. Wonder got left off.
I think she's going to shine next phase more so than this one.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, WandaVision's phase 4, correct?
Yeah.
So if WandaVision, the show was in phase 3, that would have made her a lot higher up on my list of choices because I think she just didn't really get her chance to shine until that show, and now we're going to see her be like one of the most powerful people in the MCU. So
which was evident during this phase 3 when she freaking de-armored Thanos.
Well, she probably would have killed him if he didn't have his ship.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, villain. And
didn't fumble the bag.
first pick is Grant.
Oh, shit.
I don't believe I remember that being a villain.
Unless
That's
it's from
baseball.
Guardians.
I actually did think about this one, but I'm in two minds. But I'm I'm gonna go with Zemo.
What?
I have
Yeah.
experience.
He passed on Thanos.
Patience.
Yeah, well, look, very obvious.
A man can
All
do
right,
anything if he has those.
but you know what? I'll let someone else have that.
Zemo.
Could you let- could you let
walks
someone
so
else have
Thanos can
Zemo?
run.
No, I don't want to take too long, but let's be honest here. As we said, we've seen a lot happen in the MCU leading up to Cold War. Oh my God, too much COD. Civil War.
You've got Vanguard coming out in a couple of months.
Old Captain Man and I in America. Nah, but like, and you see this someone as simple as like an ex sort of military person able to literally bring down the Avengers through tactic and like, I guess, well planned things. And like, you know, we seen Age of Ultron and obviously, you know, Loki and all these big space villains and all these big things happening. And it's like, well, you know, where they're going to go with this. And then you get this movie that's very localized, it's on Earth. There's a human who's now your villain, and he's managed to take apart the world's heroes with his brain, basically, and he's planning. And to me, that was always incredible. Man, I thought, far out. How can you take a movie now that doesn't have a massive like galactic villain in it and make it that entertaining? Obviously, the characters basically was an Avengers film, so that helps. But that's what makes him even a better villain. He took down, besides Thor and Hulk, obviously, he took them all down. Basically, he did. He turned them all against each other in a way, and he, you know, that created one of the, you know, in my opinion, one of my favorite fight scenes in the MCU between all the Avengers. So yeah, I don't want to go too long, but for me, he was, how do you say it? Bit like the little train that could, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's not some big space villain, but he'll still get the job done. And obviously we see him later on in Falcon Winter Soldier, and he's still a badass. So yeah, really my MVP for Phase 3 villain.
Oh my gosh.
Zemo's so underrated, I feel.
It seems like he's rated in this one because he was my pick as well. And
my pick.
I could go all night talking about how good he is at that time. So
that's all right. I agree. Civil War, I feel like, even though it wasn't the Civil War I was looking for, or the Zemo I was looking for, what we got was pretty awesome. And yeah, it's paid off because this guy's getting more recognition as Zemo, evidently. Okay, I did have backups, but sorry, now in regards to my backups, I don't know which one to go for.
Is that Thanos bloke too?
I'm actually going to avoid Thanos.
Yeah, that's what I
John Constantine.
I feel like Thanos is such a vanilla choice.
He's like, we all know he's the best, but like he's like essentially what Phase 3 was leading up to. But yeah, like Josh said, it's just too basic.
That's serious.
Watch me pick Thanos.
Yeah.
All right, so my choice is Mysterio.
See, that wasn't so.
Yeah.
So
Get this stupid costume. Just crossed another one off.
sorry, Chance. I mean, my whole thing was thrown off too. My hypothetical is out the window now. Actually, no, still kind of works. Still backup story. So Mysterio, I think I've explained quite well in our Far From Home pod why he was awesome. To see Jake Gyllenhaal take on a role like this was something else. It was delivered in a way that was very comic accurate, but also Marvel spin on it. And again, it was a consequence of something Tony had done, which I think was cool the way they developed that. In regards to my hypothetical, I don't want to take too long, but so again, my Iron Man tribute movie, we know Mysterio is good with the tech, but in my hypothetical, he starts to dive into magic. Even though his illusions weren't actual magic, he starts to draw on those things. I don't know. He, like in mine, he's not dead. He's somehow resurrected himself through some weird magical thing, and he's come back. And it's for some reason it's Doctor Strange that has to face him. So I think like it'd be an interesting clash of capes in my hypothetical. And but yeah, Mysterio is awesome. He's one of my favorite villains in Phase 3. So yeah, that's my villain pick. Next up, Malika.
Nice.
I'm
Righty. My villain, or should I say villainess?
Oh.
Damn. Good pick.
Hella.
Yeah, Ella.
That's right.
Oh, you poor thing. You're stuck with Thanos.
That's a hella good choice.
Yes.
Even though I didn't like hella very much.
You know, knowing what I know now, though, I feel like because Zeta wanted Zemo, he was probably just sitting there the whole time going, "No, Grant, explain it better. It was mine. It's a shit job."
No, you did great. You did great, actually.
Yeah. Well, GG.
I'm picking her. She created, I think, one of the sort of not a jaw-dropping scene, but a scene that surprised everyone. And it's when she catches the hammer and just breaks it. I think for that, nice Granters.
Nutella.
I think everyone had the same
Sponsor.
reaction there. Where it
Nutella.
was,
Sponsor.
everyone had the same reaction where we've seen Thor being absolutely beast with his hammer. Freaking, he goes up against Surtur with the hammer. Like anything that hammer has hit has lost, pretty much.
Except curse.
And then she just grabs it, catches it, and then just crushes it. And like our reaction is the same as Thor's. We have no idea what just happened.
Impossible.
And it gives that insight to how powerful she is.
Yeah.
And I liked, like there's some scenes of her that are sort of, they're dumb, but like for her herself, I do like the backstory that it brings, because you see Asgard as just this amazing place. Everything's golden and shiny, etc. But then it's that she brings the dark side of it that Odin's been hiding for thousands of years. Like when she cracks the ceiling, that scene for me was awesome. Getting to see that backstory. And then she just pretty much triggers the whole chain of events of Ragnarok, which turns into a big part of like the Thor Hulk storyline of that whole thing, and then why they're in space, etc., etc. So it's sort of a catalyst to that whole thing. I think Thanos going to Asgard would have been cool to watch to try and get the stone, but we get him just attacking the ship. But yeah, and the costume's cool as well. The thing that she does with her hair, or the little with the helmet.
Oh,
She can hammer. Imagine what she can do with it.
can I just say, bit of a spoilers here. It was cool to see that thing in What If.
Yeah,
The collector.
where he wears it. Yeah.
That was sick.
So yeah, that is why I choose Hela, and she's just stupidly powerful.
Yeah, it was cool seeing her dark history with Odin. Yeah, like you said, it was interesting. Thor Ragnarok is, like we've said it time and again, it's definitely a top 3, maybe even a top 1 film for some of us. So yeah, nice. All right,
That's my choice.
next up, Alvarez.
Yeah, no.
Please pick something chance out again.
I have a feeling my pick isn't going to be on Chance's list. I had a couple of different options though, because I didn't want to pick Thanos. So I was trying to think of all the villains through the movies. I was going to pick Grandmaster, but I don't feel like he played enough. I don't think he got enough screen time for us to classify him as like a villain. So I'm actually going to choose one that sort of following suit with Zeta, who sort of fits with my hero and someone who could, like, if I could potentially picture a fight with. And I'm going to go Killmonger. Even though I'm a bit on the fence about Michael B. Jordan and his performance as Killmonger. I thought he was good. I wasn't in love with it, but I think the character itself, somebody who just is super highly trained, super intelligent, like an incredible strategist, pretty much lived his whole life and calculated every single step of his because he had that one goal in mind and he achieved it. Like if you think about it, he achieved what he wanted to do. Could he hold that seat for very long? No, but he did what he did what he set out to do, which is pretty much essentially become the king of Wakanda. And yeah, I just think as a villain, as a character, he's super impressive. And yeah, I wish we could have seen more if they had taken more. Again, I think there's theories out there that he's not really dead and that they'll bring him back for other movies. But I think from what we did see, I just really liked him as a character, I guess. So Killmonger is my villain, and I could see him facing off against Spider-Man.
Yeah, true. Bit of a team up with Craven or something.
True, that'd be hectic.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. Marvel, if you're listening. Disney.
Spider-Man 2 game.
All right. Next up, finally, Chance.
Yeah, I had 3 of my picks get taken away. Thanks, guys. I was hoping Z-Mail was going to fall a little bit further than first pick, to be honest. But everyone knows that's my number one.
Star-Lord. Actually, Star-Lord was one of my villains.
Yeah, for ruining the movie. Before I say my pick, I just want to say I don't know why everyone assumed when Malika said villainess, we automatically thought Hela, because the Supreme Intelligence from Captain Marvel was still available on the board. So it's
I don't even know who that
possible. The chick that Wendy Lawson. Anyway, I love the movie. How good's Captain Marvel?
Anyway. Pulling it out. Chance is choosing Caecilius.
Oh my gosh. Now look, what are we doing here, guys? Like, I'm picking Thanos. Thanos is my pick for villain. I can see why people wouldn't want to pick him, because there are a lot of villains and stuff like that. But what Josh Brolin did with that role is, now when you say to people, "Hey, villain," when you say, "Hey," when you think of the
Josh
word villain. I think we made this joke before about Josh Groban
as Thanos.
Yeah,
as
sorry,
Thanos
it's like a bridge over troubled water. That guy
would be better. Anyway, when you say the word villain, I think you begin to think of some people in your head now, right? So you've got, like, Heath Ledger as the Joker. You've got these amazing villains throughout all these different movies, not even just comic book, but then he's pushed himself into that category, which is Thanos is the villain above every other villain type of thing.
Yeah.
I think that what he did in that movie, like, all of us watched it together. Like, we watched Infinity War. We were at the movies together. At the end of that movie, it comes up with what we're all waiting for. It says, like, the Avengers will come back or reappear or whatever, return in Endgame, but it says Thanos will appear. And I'm like, to do that and to make that into a villain where we walked out, and I remember vividly sitting there, and Adrian Jukic were having an argument with each other about how, like, Thanos's motives were, like, legit, and, like, he had the right thing to do. And, like, for someone to do that, like, that's a villain.
That says a lot about Adrian.
Yeah, well, I just thought I wanted to put him in the pod somewhere. So my villain's Adrian Jukic. So anyway,
Adrian Jukic, if you watch it. Love you, bro. Get on the pod.
Anyway, yeah. So I just think he has to. I understand why you guys didn't pick him, because I get the reasons for not, because he kind of, like, is just that he's there above everybody else. But I'm going to put him in there because, I don't have many other options. So Thanos.
You'd have thought Thanos was the choice because you didn't have any other choice.
The vulture is right there, Chance.
David's still coming. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, David 100% is choosing Caecilius. I'm picking
just on Thanos. I've never had, like Chad said, a villain so convincing, but also so messed up, but also so intimidating that he could, like, his motives they were bad, but, like, in a way that was just like,
I feel like his motives weren't all bad though. Like, his method was kind of messed, but the behind it was
there was a complexity to it, which was made.
We see it now with Gladys. Same thing. She's my phase 4 villain.
It's a face-off between her and Dan.
Phase 4. At this point, it looks like she'll be your phase 7 villain.
With and then Palaszczuk's on the sidelines trying to
Gladys. At work, we call Gladys very jiggly bits.
Shout out Adrian Jukic.
On that note, well, David, you're up, man.
I'm here.
Your last and final pick, villain.
I just love that Adrian Jukic was, like, promoting genocide. Like,
Actually, David, before we get into your choice, can I just ask, has our picks affected your pick in any way?
The only way it's affected me is I was going for Killmonger. That's the only way it's affected me.
Are you going to pick the collector now?
No, I'm actually. I want to go left field, but I feel like it's going to make everyone so mad. Like, it's just going
to Yellow Jacket.
Do it. Don't change. Like, don't change now. No. David. Stay true.
Okay. Phase 2. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can defend this. It's going to be Ego, the Living Planet.
Get out.
Finally get to be the father I've always wanted to be.
Hey, Zeta, man. Sick podcast,
Excuse
bro. Good to catch up with you lads.
Gotta take a whiz.
I'm
I'm gonna go buy bread.
9.5 for this. 9.5 for this one. It's all good. See you, man.
Maybe. It's okay, David.
All right,
We
let's hear it,
support
let's hear
you
it.
in all your decisions.
Like last time you convinced us about Hawkeye. We'll see what you got for this one.
Did he convince us about
Okay, I'll make it brief.
Oh, very brave. You cut off.
Yeah, look, basically, can you hear me?
Even Zoom doesn't want to hear this.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, gotcha.
No.
Maybe.
Okay, look, let's.
We got you. We got you.
The
Graham.
whole-
Trolling.
The whole concept of a living planet is ridiculous when you really think about it. And to make me care about a planet the way that they did and be able to throw in a father and son arc with it really worked, as well as that Kurt Russell is just an amazing actor and he just brought such a gravitas to that role. Yes, for me, what kills it is the CGI, but you take away the CGI, that was a very good role and really added a layer to Peter Quill. And like one of my favorite scenes in Guardians 2 is that part where is their interactions. Like even when he's like, oh, you know, Mark just left. Forget it. It's ego. That's just it. That's all.
He's not a Russell Crowe fan.
Yes.
Also, that scene where he's like, oh, oh, Peter, if you do this, you're going to be normal. And Peter's like, so what's wrong with that? Like just the interactions as like this complicated relationship between a distant father who's trying to manipulate his son. I think that's a very deep sort of arc to go for. And it worked with a living planet, which again is an absurd idea. And yeah, I think they pulled it off. Mark, what are you eating?
Magna?
Nah, connoisseur ice cream. The salted chocolate swirl or whatever it is.
Yeah,
With the
no.
almond.
Watermelon flavored chocolate.
David,
Does
that's time for you to get yogurt.
Malika,
yeah.
does that option become available on the shelf when you earn over a certain amount of money? Does it become a it mustn't be at my supermarket. I haven't seen it before.
Malika's moved past bubble open.
Yeah,
6 figures,
Carrots,
Chan,
right.
6 figures.
right next to the watermelons.
Yeah, fair.
All right, calm down.
Zeta, just make a note of your first crop.
Okay. All right. So we got through villains. 2 categories down. We're now up to weapon. I got first pick. All right. So in my hypothetical, I couldn't go too far without, acknowledging some of Iron Man's tech. I don't think I've actually acknowledged any of his tech in the previous fantasy phases. I think the first one was the Space Stone. Second one was pin particles. For this one, I'm going with Iron Man's nanotech, specifically the gauntlet. Now, whether or not the stones are all there, we don't know.
Does that count as choosing Iron Man?
I mean, he created it and he used it to save. The point is, I can't choose Iron Man, but I can choose something that was of Iron Man. Anyways, I'm choosing the nanotech and specifically the gauntlet, the makeshift gauntlet that he made to host the stones. Obviously made a big play. It was the epitome of his tech, his suits, nanotechnology. And yeah, again, it had a big play. In my hypothetical, Mysterio finds the gauntlet and potentially there's a stone left in there and he utilizes it and Doctor Strange has to stop him somehow. I'd like it if it was the time stone, then because Doctor Strange has had play in that. And then Mysterio uses it and sees some possibilities. Doctor Strange sees some of the possibilities. So it's just a movie of possibility after possibility. It's just a constant loop, basically. My hypothetical, but in the mix for some reason, Doctor Strange's guilt about Tony is still weighing on him, and Mysterio is still pissed off about Tony and his legacy, and he's still trying to destroy that by using his tech. So,
But is Doctor Strange guilty? Does he feel guilty about Iron Man?
It's my hypothetical. Essentially, nanotech, specifically the gauntlet, and that's my weapon of choice. It is. Who's Malikan next?
Leaks.
Mate. So
Malikan.
on the line of what?
Can you not eat your ice cream like that? I do not need that sound
Don't
coming through my
disturb
headphones.
Like, it's like when he's playing COD, he's eating his pork crackles.
I haven't done it in a while, actually.
Oh, yeah. mate.
I'll get a pack tomorrow on the way home.
Please don't.
So similar on Alvarez's line, I'm gonna go with Scarlet Witch's body. That is the weapon. It turns the vision. Nah.
I thought you were serious. I was like, I mean, aiming to get cancelled right now.
I'll accept it. I'll accept it.
Oh.
What do you mean it turns the vision? Like, was he gay before she came?
No, he was
It breaks
non-binary.
Yeah, he was
breaks-
asexual before she came.
She
Fair
just
enough.
runs past the enemies and they break their neck. Like,
Yeah, trying to do the touch.
Interesting sexuality question. Because Vision is technically AI, wouldn't he automatically identify as binary?
Maybe he can just. Maybe he can
He's
just do whatever he
asexual.
wants.
Isn't it
Brilliant.
technologically impossible for Vision to identify as non-binary? He literally is
Bunch
binary
of
code.
ones of zeros.
Alvarez, sorry, there's a knock at my door. It's just every Twitter group has just decided to kill me. I've heard something.
Yeah, the FBI's just rocked up to my door.
yeah,
Third
well,
eye.
look, we're
Third eye
talking
just
about not the new Avengers. They're going to be called the transgenders now.
Oh my god!
All right, well, we got to cut that one out. So,
No, that's all fair.
Malika.
Malika, go. Just go,
That's
Malika.
fine.
Can I actually choose my weapon now, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
Like
So my weapon for this, I'm gonna go with the time stone.
Eternal life.
good choice.
Yeah. I
Temporal
was thinking about
manipulations
it.
can create branches in time. Unstable
It is
dimensional openings.
like such a crazy
Spatial
weapon. Like,
paradoxes, time loops. You weren't
we see it
manipulating
get used a little
space-time
bit by Doctor
continuum, you were
Strange.
breaking it.
But what he's able to do with it, like he literally decays an apple and brings it back to a perfect condition while it's standing there, like while the apple is sitting there. Like the potential for what that stone can do is huge. And I'm skipping into phase 4 and what if. But actually, has everyone here seen the Doctor Strange What If episode?
I haven't seen any of them, so I don't care.
You don't care. What about you and Fitz and Zeta? Have you seen Doctor Strange What If?
It was awesome.
Alvarez?
Nah, but I don't care either.
Oh, so it's just the way he uses it. Like he can just keep using, like he sits there. He can sit there going in time, like as much as he wants with that stone, and checking out all the different outcomes, like we see in Avengers. But like the power that grants you, like you could literally just keep making the correct choice every time to get to whatever outcome you want. And then you could just see what everyone else is going to do.
So can he see
Right.
Lotto?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, he'd be able to
Lotto
see.
numbers.
Yeah, he'd see every lotto number.
That's sick.
So like it has such an unlimited potential for what it can do, and like when you could literally like hell, if he could do that to an apple, why couldn't he do it to a person and just speed up their death?
Well, he did do it to Dormammu in a sense.
Yeah, he traps him in a time loop.
Yeah.
But like you could literally walk up to someone, open up the eye of Agamotto, and just add like 30 years onto their life as they're standing there.
I have Agamotto.
Actually, why doesn't he do that to Thanos? Just like age him like 1,000 years.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Because
Does he
Thanos
know
has the other
enough about
side.
Thanos' race, though? Like maybe Thanos
Or-
can live for like 1,000,000 years. Who knows?
Or
Come from a
de-age.
Celestial.
Oh, it could have
Doesn't
been-
Thanos come from Celestial.
It could have been one of the possibilities.
Yeah, or he de-ages him and then Rhodey kills him.
What if next episode?
But yeah, definitely for me, the Time Stone is probably one of the top weapons, or if not the top weapon in this phase.
Well, yeah, all the stones have some kind of. I think we've seen their power showcased to some extent, except for the Soul Stone, which we still haven't really. I still don't understand. Actually, even the Reality Stone, I don't understand. But what I love is the fact that all these stones amount to nothing in freaking Loki. But yeah, good choice, Time Stone. Next up, Alvarez, weapon.
I'm also going to choose a stone. I was thinking about going Infinity Gauntlet and just being OP, but Seems kind of lame. So I'm going to choose the reality stone, which is what Zeta just mentioned. In contrast to what Malika was saying, I feel like I could make you think you're using the time stone, and really you're just standing there like an idiot, doing nothing.
Wouldn't I see that possibility already?
Not if I use it. Not if I use a reality stone before you use the time stone.
What if I saw you using it before me?
What if I have the power stone and just punch both of you idiots?
Yeah, true. In this instance, Chance wins.
Like Captain Marvel got punched. That was great.
I think being able to shape not just your own reality, but reality for everyone around you, is crazy. And the fact that, you know, you can make everyone around you think that they're doing something or think something is going their way. And we don't really know the parameters. We don't know if there's sort of a trigger to break that reality, or whether it's just up to the user, like who actually sort of casts that reality, to sort of break it. We don't know why Thanos did the way he did it. But I think being able to, literally give someone a scenario that they think they're living in and think they're living out. Like, I think the possibilities for this stone and what it can do, I don't think we've seen the true
as well
ability of it just yet. Or I don't think we'll see it at all, to be honest. But just in my mind, like when they had that whole plan to defeat Thanos, when he was in the collector sort of area, and they literally thought that all went to plan. And then he's just like, no.
Yeah.
So I just think that's OP. To be honest, I don't know why Thanos didn't do that more. Like,
he was in the collector and Ant-Man was in him.
Wow.
Yeah. So reality stone. Get wrecked, Malika. Have fun trying to use a time stone when you're living in my reality.
I already saw the possibility of you trying to use it.
But did you?
I did.
But did you? That's probably my reality.
And then Chance is going to choose a mind stone.
It's a never-ending loop.
All right, Chance. Yeah, next pick, man.
Yeah, well, I have Thanos now, so I'm picking the God. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to do that either.
Just recast Infinity War.
Well, it doesn't matter because Zeta's already got the nano one, so we could all pick a stone and he could just steal it from our hands. So it's irrelevant. No, look, I've got Ant-Man as my hero. I've got Thanos as my villain. So I'm going to pick the Pym particles as my weapon. The reason being is you think it would be for Ant-Man, but spoiler, it's for Thanos. And he's now mini and can go up inside of his own anus. And reality is, like, imagine having the Pym particles in the power of someone like Thanos. Like, imagine Thanos being giant or Thanos being tiny. Like, it's just petrifying, to be honest. So, I'm going to go Pym particles as my weapon of choice.
And does that open up a whole new avenue in regards to the quantum realm for Thanos?
Kang the butt conqueror.
Oh, crap. Literally.
Kang the sphincterer.
Okay. David, next up, weapon, man.
All right. So
I think your previous one was like fish thing and stuff.
Yeah.
Choose rocket raccoons. Pistol.
Hawkeye's bow.
No, like Josh. Honestly, Josh is probably going to swear at me when what I'm going to say.
You're going to make Malika say
Here we go.
I'm a Christian man, David.
Here we go.
Here we go. Okay, look, I will precursor this. I'm not actually trying to troll. I'm just not a big fan of weapons. It's not a... I don't know. I just... Like, same with Stormbreaker. I found it just a bit of MacGuffin. Anyway, I'll get to my point. So I'm actually choosing two, and they are Des and Troy.
Particularly fond of David, I pulled him out of a place in Midgard called Texas. I even named him Des.
Ragnarok. Gotcha.
You see,
Were they M16? Correct me
Yeah,
if I'm
the
wrong.
M16s. Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
there you
Don't
go.
try and
Actually,
justify it, Zeta. I know you're the host, but come on.
I'm not even. Do you want me to justify it?
No,
Please.
next.
Please.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, what good is the reality stone when David just shoots me before I can use it? So
Hey, hang on.
He
Keep in
took out
mind,
quite a few. He took out
in
quite a few
Ragnarok,
zombies.
they got unlimited ammo. So,
he's got restock perk.
Yeah. Scavenger.
David, I would love to see you in this hypothetical with your two Des and Troy machine guns, and then you're like, I'm so excited, I have guns, and you just got Ebony Moore being like, meh, meh. And then your heroes are just standing there like.
This is where Mark would be
pigs,
using his
man.
time stone, watching you with these guns and just laughing.
What did you had the fish things? What was your phase 2 one?
What was the fish things?
Didn't Mark have a
fish
chair
things
at one
from-
point?
from Iron Man
What?
1?
Mark had Thanos' chair at one point. We can't get much worse than that.
That's
Fish
true.
things. I don't
It's,
remember
it's a
that.
bit better than 2 M16s.
The big in Avengers 1, those big
Is it though?
space.
Oh,
space-
yeah.
Not even
yeah.
people in COD use M16.
You know
These ones?
the all the me's flying around,
These ones.
the fishes.
Right.
And phase 2, you had the little flashback.
For bullies.
Yeah.
Yo, I
What?
want.
You had the best picks.
The thing Iron Man
I
gives the
want-
kid.
I want David to revisit all of his picks over phase 1, 2, and 3 and make a movie. That's
Yeah.
what I want.
But have a psychologist present.
Okay. Next.
Oh,
Okay.
This is why I
Great.
love you, bro. You're the best.
yeah.
But for the rest of this, can you just get off and put your missus on instead? Her answers will be better than this. They'll have more input.
Hey, Emily.
Oh
No.
All right. Grant, last pick. What you got?
Well, I guess I can pick this. No one else picked it. Stormbreaker.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say if you
One
can
of
pick
mine.
that, like, what are you doing?
It's the
Yeah,
mold,
like let's be honest, like
a king's
wow.
weapon.
like that thing,
Take the
especially that
greatest in
all obviously
Asgard.
comes hand in hand with
Heeeere could even
Thor's
summon the Bifrost.
entrance into Wakanda.
Did it have a name?
Like it's the first time we see that weapon in use,
Stormbreaker.
and it's like, well, okay, your hammer's gone, you're upset, but bro, like now you got something bigger and better. Like a lot of people still argue that they prefer the hammer, which fair enough, like it's iconic. But like, hello, like it's incredible what this thing can do, and not to mention it, like everything Thanos tried to stop it as well, coming at him, he couldn't stop it, and it just went straight through him. Yeah, should have went for the head, blah blah blah, whatever. But if we went for the head, we wouldn't have Endgame, so shut up. So yeah, basically strongest weapon in the MCU. Spoilers. But nah.
Shout out to Gimli for lending his axe.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Malika,
Yeah.
it's coming.
yeah. Well, Legolas lent Hawkeye his bow, so same shit. But,
yeah.
Nah, Stormbreaker, quick and simple. No explanation needed. Belongs to the greatest superhero of all time. That's all that needs to be said. Game over.
Yeah, I think the setup too for that hammer, like what Thor went through to get it, was pretty huge too.
Well, the fact that it's Groot's arm as the handle, like that's a sick way to do it. Like, yeah, and then you had
It was cool.
obviously old mate from Game of Thrones helping him make it.
Mm.
So yeah, what a
Jaime
crossover!
Lannister.
Yeah, he's come so far since Game of Thrones. Look at him go.
That was Peter Big Dinklage.
No, my theory
Nice.
is that Ant-Man went into Game of Thrones and gave him the thing to make him grow, and that's how he ended up there.
No. Another. Not only have we made another movie for Marvel, I know we've reached into another franchise.
100%. It goes hand in hand with George of the Jungle.
Alrighty. Okay, cool. Halfway through. Next category, side characters. Malika.
Oh, I'm first.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so my answer is probably somewhat influenced by Phase 4, and I know it probably shouldn't be.
Cheetah.
Yeah.
It's against the
Because
rules.
it's Phase 3. But I will say Scarlet Witch.
You took
Okay, that's fair to say.
everything from me.
Like, there's a whole lot of influence because of the TV show. But
It's definitely not just Phase 4 influence.
Old Boy has a good influence on it as
Oh
well.
my god. The Korean one?
No, the one she's in.
Getting
Wow.
cancelled.
But nah, like she's when it comes down to just like pure power levels and things, like she's right up there with the rest of them. And we see how well she goes against Thanos. And he pretty much, like, well, I can't remember. Is it her or Marvel that causes the raining fire?
It's her.
He calls it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After-
but it's when it's
after
versing
her-
hit
Oh,
her,
when
isn't
she's
it?
got him all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. It pushes him that far that he goes to pretty much his last. Like, it would have been one of his final plans. Like, he's literally just wiping out his own army to take out one Avenger.
Save his own life.
Yeah, but like that showed like he actually believed he was in proper peril to go to the last resort.
Right, he was
And-
full, like, completely, like, surrendered.
Yeah, and that shows her power, and like
Mm.
and that was even like a glimpse of it as we see a lot more of it in Phase 4. So that scene's pretty cool, and then like just what she can do as well as Scarlet Witch. Like, I know she's not the Scarlet Witch yet in Phase 3.
Spoilers.
But yeah, and she's like a solid 9.5. So
I will say,
David would debate that.
I will say, during Phase 3, I wasn't sure I could see her as a main character, as a leading role. Like, could she pull it off? And yeah, we did see it in Phase 4. So I mean, if anything, she did fit. She did stand out as a maybe a bit more than a side character, but yeah, she definitely deserves some praise over Phase 3. Next,
that is my choice.
Next up, Josh.
Reezy.
Yeah.
My pick is staying in the Wakandan universe. I am choosing Shuri.
Any member of
She's so like, we haven't seen how intelligent she is yet. I mean, we've seen glimpses, but I think even that she goes sort of far beyond what we have already seen. And I think now her taking mantle of Black Panther, again, we haven't seen it. I think it'll be super interesting to see where they go with that. But even what we did see in terms of how she improves tech and in everything that she's done in Wakanda with the lab is super, super impressive. And the fact that she's so young and has so much time left, I'm just keen to see where they take her in Phase 4. Yeah, I don't want to get too complicated. I just think she's really cool. She's super smart, and I'm keen to see where they go.
Potentially the next Black Panther.
Yeah, literally.
Shuri. All right. Side character, big chance. Here you go, man.
This is a tough one for me, to be honest.
Is it Bucky?
No, I think I picked Bucky before. I have no idea. I'm not sure. But I'm not going to pick Bucky. I'm actually going to go someone that I wasn't expecting to pick when I started this podcast. I might not have picked Bucky, but no, I'm not going to go him. This is someone who I was not expecting to pick as a side character when we started the podcast, but I'm actually going to go with this person because I think it fits my theme of like going someone that was introduced in this phase and they're kind of pushing a little bit, and I think they're going to take him into the next phase as quite important. As I know that they appear in Shang-Chi, but I haven't seen it yet, and that's Wong. I'm going to go Wong as my side character. I think that he brings obviously a bit of comedic relief, but he also is quite strong in his use of the mystic arts and all that sort of stuff. And I also think that he's going to play a bit going forward as they kind of use him a little bit more in the movies. So yeah, I'm going to go Wong as my side character.
Yeah,
I can tell you what he does in Shang-Chi.
I don't want spoilers.
No.
If I wanted to know that, I'd message David and he could send me the script.
Or reenact it.
Listen, we've all seen Shanghai. It's not happening.
All right. Jesus. All right, David. Your side character.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's left hand.
Okay, so I'm not going to go left field this time.
Oh.
I had a choice between two. I don't know, what am I doing if I don't go left field? I had a choice between two. It's either M'Baku or Bill Foster. And actually, I'm going to go a bit left field. I'm going to go for Bill Foster.
It's incredible.
You're
linked to Janet.
Yeah, who's that again?
It's quantum entanglement.
No, I'm actually
Quantum
serious.
states
Who's
of
that?
Posner molecules in
Okay.
your brain.
Hey, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Jokes.
Morpheus. Lawrence Morpheus.
Mumbaku.
Is that his son's name, Mbaku?
Oh, that's so good.
Maybe it's for the best. She went for Bill Foster.
Oh no, it's Mark Ruffalo all over again.
David's just like, I'm never doing this again. This is my last episode ever.
Oh,
Listen,
how do you
back
say
in.
it?
Relax.
We might have
my
some more
God.
meaning.
Just Mbaku.
Oh, just
Me
M'Baku.
Bombay.
Yeah.
I thought it was M'Baku. Oh,
Hey, it's not me Bombay. All right.
M'Baku. All right.
Right.
Look, let's just put it out there. David is not the best with names, so don't take it personally. Like, just in Marvel generally, you're always going to get at least one name wrong.
So Bill Foster, look, he was pretty underused in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but
Yeah.
the character he's based on, Goliath, is pretty cool in the comics, and there's just so much potential for that character. And look, he's played by Lawrence Fishburne, Morpheus. Like, come on, like, do something with the guy that played Morpheus. Like, he's not in Matrix 4 because he's going to be amazing in Ant-Man. So that's my hot take. So that's it. That's it. Mic drop. I'm done. Next person.
Is Bill Foster related to Jane Foster?
Not yet.
Ooh. Spoilers.
that was not a serious question.
Wow.
All right.
What if?
That's his adopted daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
That explains why
explain all
she's
the
one of the most powerful women in MCU, Caleb.
would explain the terrible acting.
Yeah.
I mean, does it have to be an adopted daughter? We literally saw a black Johnny Storm related to a white Sue Storm.
Yeah, but they were adopted.
They were straight up siblings.
No, they were adopted.
Were they?
The Invisible Woman was adopted.
I only watched that movie once. I
wouldn't know.
I've
only seen the movie 0.5 times, so I'm not sure.
Not dissimilar to Ant-Man vs. Wasp.
All right, Grant, your side character.
I feel like freaking taking Bill Foster screwed me up there.
You still got M'Baku, bro.
Damn you. Like, that's gonna stick with me for all day tomorrow. I'm gonna go with Rocket.
Oh, look. It's like a little puppy.
I don't know why. It's just something I love him as a character in general. But even obviously when Thor's going through a rough time, he really helps him out. He's got his own demons to deal with as well, but he's helping everyone else out. And you know what? For such a small sort of creature, he packs a big punch. And obviously a lot of comedic relief and all that sort of stuff. I just think he's a great character. He's funny. He's powerful in his own right. Got his own sort of little dark personal story going on. I just thought he's a good side character to have. He's a good addition to quite a serious and big cast. Just something thrown in there to go, keep the humor going and keep things interesting. And allowing other characters to sort of bounce off him as well and make jokes about him and with him. So, yeah. Like even with Tony saying, "Thought you were a Build-A-Bear," like those things, like just having that character there allows people to bounce off him.
I think within the movies, Rocket we've definitely seen that he's someone who can hold his own. And he's been a very strong supporting role. But I am curious to see if he can, because it's Bradley Cooper, right? If he can take the lead in because the next Avengers, next Guardians, they're gonna develop his story, right? Those are the rumors, I think. Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
We get through this, I'll hold your own.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Last pick for side character is pretty easy for me. None of mine got chosen. I did consider Wong, actually, but because it would have fit alongside Doctor Strange in my hypothetical. But I'm going with Pepper Potts. I don't think I've ever properly given her any praise throughout the Iron Man movies. I know,
rightfully so.
There's a reason for that.
Seems like you
There's a reason for that, bro.
But her,
she's a poor man's Natalie Portman.
But anyway, she's my pick for side character. I will say she stood out the most for me in Endgame as the character to convince Tony of what the right thing to do was in that scene. That was great. That whole line about her asking him, "But would you be able to rest?" Which is actually carries off from Iron Man 3. And the very end when Tony passes, she's like, "You can rest now. We'll be all right." That's huge for me. And I think in my hypothetical, Doctor Strange is in a bit of a rut against Mysterio. So he turns to Pepper, who's she's got her suit as what's it called again? The suit? Frick, can't remember.
Who cares?
Rescue.
Yeah. So she has that. And who cares? Yeah. I mean, but yeah, she's got that, and I feel like it'd be an interesting element to add for Doctor Strange, who's looking for a bit of closure in his supposed guilt. In my hypothetical.
Oh, do you reckon he's going to sleep with her? I feel bad that Tony's not there anymore, so let me help you out. If you don't like it, I can just reverse it.
I don't know, man. I don't know if in my hypothetical he could do that to Rachel McAdams. Oh wait, but she's not going to be. She's not going to be.
I hope she is, man. She'd be a banging addition.
Nah, she's coming back.
Oh, she is.
Yeah?
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah. That's good.
Is he coming on her back?
She did voice in What If, right?
No. Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, my choice, Pepper Potts, finally put some respect on her name to some degree, anyway. Okay, next one is setting, and we start off with Reezy.
Oh.
Damn, dude, I hadn't thought about this one at all.
Rhea.
Brick. All right.
We'll go back
what can I
there one
choose?
day.
Let's. I don't want to go basic. Frick, dude, I haven't thought about this at all. Give me. No, I don't want to say that.
Blockbuster from Captain Marvel.
I actually would choose that. That's like of all the things in Captain Marvel that I love, saying Blockbuster again.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
Black Widow's room.
Is Nick Fury's hair a setting?
What?
Is that a setting?
Hang on. Give me 1 sec. Let's go. Marvel Phase 3. I'm just going to choose something off dome. Let's go.
Freestyle.
Okay. No. I've got a good one. What's freaking? I can't remember the name of the planet though. Where old mate Grandmaster is located.
Sakaar.
Yeah, Sakaar. Let's go Sakaar. I'm gonna go Sakaar. I just think it's cool. It's like a little bit underground. Yeah, cool vibes. Like underground fighting rings and all that kind of stuff, but also sort of futuristic and really cool. So yeah, a bit grungy. Can I see Spider-Man and Killmonger fighting there? Absolutely not. But I forgot this was a category choice, so I'm going to go Sakaar.
Phase 4, anything can happen.
True preach.
What if?
Multiverse of madness and here. Okay. Wait, that's not the new Spider-Man. Whatever. Homecoming.
Take it easy.
Homecoming, E.T., Phone Home, Aliens.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There's your movie.
Yes, Zeta. Aliens.
Jan's your setting, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Vormir for my setting for Phase 3 draft. I think we've seen Vormir where the Soul Stone was. We've seen Thanos, which is my villain, on Vormir, so we know it works with Thanos. But I'm not going to send Thanos there. I'm going to send Ant-Man there, and it's going to be the most emotional MCU scene to date, as Ant-Man has to sacrifice Louise off the cliff of Vormir.
No,
it's sad. It's broken. It's just it's really full on. Yeah. So I'm gonna go.
Does Louise then recite the whole thing as a ghost?
Yeah. He's a it's like a Force ghost, but it's a Vormir ghost. Yeah.
Him and Red Skull.
Like Red Skull ends up jumping off the cliff because he can't handle Louise just talking about stuff in the end credit scene.
Is Red Skull considered a side character or a villain?
He's considered
in phase 3.
I was going to make a punny joke there, but I don't want to disrespect him. So he's great. Awesome. Good stuff. Good skull.
Vormir. All right.
Yeah, anyway, I'm picking Vormir.
Yeah. I think all the scenes of Vormir hold a lot of weight because that's when someone dies. Deep stuff.
Yeah. Especially the one with Red Skull. What a scene.
Yeah. Better Bush's dad.
All right. David, your setting. Oh, yes.
Oh, do you really want me to go?
Yes.
Oh,
Alright,
gosh.
so
you could potentially choose your villain. I just realized.
my setting is, you ready for it? I'm probably not going to pronounce it right. It is Tonsberg. It's New Asgard.
Oh, yeah.
Is that where Mbappe lives?
Mbappe, as in the soccer player for PSG.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Mbappe. Is that in France?
Okay, cool. Actually, yeah. This isn't that far of a left field pick.
No. It's like a foul ball.
What?
It's not that much of a left field pick.
I thought it was just left field because I thought I was going to say Tonsberg wrong, which I probably am saying wrong. What?
Shout out to all the Swedish people watching.
How'd you say it?
Tonsberg.
Oh,
Nordic people watching.
New Asgard.
No,
you said
Tonsberg.
Like where Jonathan Sue's
Tonsberg.
Tom's Burgers. Yeah, no, look, I feel like there's going to be a lot of potential for it in the future. And I just like the idea of it that the Asgardians moved to this nice safe haven. And I don't know, watching that scene makes me want to like go to Mjolnir with the boys after COVID's finished. So it's just got a nice lively feel to it.
Do you want to say the name of that again?
Mjolnir. Please tell me I'm not. Am I saying
you
Mjolnir
don't
wrong?
want to say it.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
You want to go to Mjolnir?
Mjolnir.
M'Baku lives there.
Nice.
Why is he didn't call it memoir?
And I actually read, just a quick deep dive, in the comics, the Asgardians actually moved to Oklahoma. So we would have had a very different situation in the movies if they followed that. Yeah, yeah.
The pun.
The musical.
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Nice. Sponsor.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Kevin Durant. I know you're watching.
Funny in so many ways.
His next journey.
All right. Who's next? Grant, your setting, bro.
Oh shit.
That's literally been all five
Also
of your
not
picks.
a setting.
I'm gonna go to Endgame. I'm actually gonna go with New York.
Guys.
Oh, when they revisit.
Right here.
Yeah.
There are
Okay,
three
Mainly
scenes.
because it just threw back me to like the feels of the first Avengers. Like it took us back, and it really, for me, watching the film, that was a big moment for me. I was like, far out, like this is how far we have come. Like that to us, that was the pinnacle of battle back then. But now they're actually just going back there to look for some stones. Like to me, I thought that was really cool that they went back there. Like obviously we knew they were going to go back in time, and that for some reason, when I was watching it and they went back there, I just got major feels. I was like, it's sick because I know how much I loved Avengers when we first watched it. And just to sort of revisit that from a different angle and seeing Hulk there, like obviously Hulk trying to recreate what he was doing by smashing the car and that, like little scenes like that.
Yeah.
And obviously even on the rooftop there with old mate with the bald hair, I forget the bloody name.
Yeah, ancient.
Ellen DeGeneres, whatever her name is.
The ancient one.
She hits Mark Ruffalo out of Hulkoni, and basically just that whole New York sort of setting in Endgame. I love that they threw that back to there. Obviously, I know they went back to Asgard and that as well, but for some reason, New York just had a different feel to it. So,
Did you make the Hulk even more like
Hulkoni
and Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
100%.
That's good.
Oh, that's my
What's
pick.
going on?
Throwback New York.
Not to mention it kicks off Loki because that's where Loki gets the space time.
That's correct. Yes.
Nice.
Very good. Thank you.
My setting is Tony Stark's cottage. in an Endgame. A lot of feels there because we see. I think David's quote in our first phase thing was a man who you're a man who has everything but also nothing. That was his everything. He had reached the point of everything in that home with Pepper and with Morgan. So that was cool to see. I love that bit. And yeah, again, a lot of development for Tony there. In my hypothetical, Doctor Strange is down and out against Mysterio. Can't figure it out. So he goes there. He sees Pepper. She gives him a bit of a pep talk. And
Pepper talk.
and then Mysterio, for some reason, hunts them down, and Doctor Strange has to protect the house, and that's where they have a big fight scene at that cottage. So yeah, that's my setting. Short and sweet.
Doctor, it looks strange.
Dude. The iron. Okay, here.
Oh my gosh, Pepper! I have an iron deficiency.
Do you have any Pepper?
Oh, wow.
Anyway, sorry.
All right, Malika, last pick for setting.
Alrighty.
I feel like you're the left field one with setting sometimes as well.
I've had a couple of options, and you boys didn't take them. So one follows the rest of my picks, and that's Wakanda.
Okay,
because that's Beast.
Right.
Then the other one follows your trend, Zeta, and it would be the Sanctum Sanctoriums.
Oh yeah,
Agamotto.
You're nice.
Built 3 sanctums in places of power
awesome
where great
set.
cities now stand.
Yeah.
That all leads to the
Because there's not
Hong
just
Kong
one, like there's the 3 or the 4
the New
or whatever. I
York
just can't remember.
It was one of the highlights of
to
the
the
movie.
London sanctum.
Yeah. And it lets you go like anywhere in the world instantly because there's little doors and windows and that.
Yeah.
And you switch in the dial and it just drops you off anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it's just like a normal house, but inside it's just massive. Calm down, Wolverine. But yeah, I think, Sanctum Sanctorium. And the fact that you can just like go from New York to bloody London or wherever it is, and then there's the Hong Kong one or wherever that other one is. I reckon that would be a really cool setting.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Or it is a cool setting.
Honorable mention would be Titan as well.
No, yeah, one of the best fights. One of the biggest moments.
Yeah, even did you get to see it in all its glory as well?
Like everything. Yeah, that's true. Everything happened on Titan.
Yeah, so you
saw everything. Yeah.
I should have picked that. Anyway, who cares?
Oh, all right. We finally reached the final category, and that is quote. And we start off with Big DJ, Chansey D.
No, I've got no idea.
Yeah. So are we doing it like we do with our normal ones, where we say the quote and then say the rating afterwards, or?
Oh yeah, true. Well,
okay.
2 birds, 1 stone. One infinity.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
cool. 2 birds. 2 birds, and I want my 2 birds. Okay.
Words.
Oh.
That was bad. Look, I can't go any further than this quote for me. I've got first pick, and I thought of because I had first pick and it was like a weird category to have it in. I thought about what would be the quote that, like, if I had to think of the whole phase, what would be the one that got me the most excited? What would be the quote that like epitomized Avengers to me? And I think it was the one we're waiting the longest to hear. And I think I can't go any further than Avengers Assemble as a quote. I think it just meant so much to us. I think obviously Cap is one that says it, so that means a lot to me. I think that it's one that when it happened in the theater, we've talked about it in Endgame, it had the biggest reaction. So Avengers Assemble, I didn't want to get too crazy with it. I didn't want to go on for ages and have to read it out. Like if I think of Avengers, I'm like, man, Avengers Assemble, that's such an iconic line. So my rating for phase 3, look, I actually I know there was some duds in there. I get that because we've talked about it. But I think overall for me, this phase really, after phase 2 was okay, but had a few lull moments. This phase for me really picked up Marvel's momentum and to me showed that it was like a force to be reckoned with. So I'm actually going to give it 9.4 Tobeys out of Maguire. So quite high. Like I think that it was for me, it put my trust in Marvel to be like, whatever they produce, I'm willing to watch. Like the hype that we had going into WandaVision because we'd waited so long for something. Even though we didn't even know what to expect, showed me that phase 3 actually did something special. So yeah.
Nice. All right. David, your quote and phase 3 Tobey Maguire rating.
Okay. I was literally looking up quotes. I was like, please not me next. Please not me next.
Can you take like 15 minutes for me?
Everyone's looking at quotes.
Oh, well, there's an obvious one, but anyway.
What's the obvious one?
I can't say it. Well, the obvious one is that I love you 3000. That's what everyone loves, but yeah.
Oh, straight to the point. Am I allowed to use one that I've used? Wait, so we can't use anything we've ever used in the entire casual discussion? Oh, you.
Rules, big boy.
I don't know. It's not a really big line.
Oh, no. Sorry. I made a mistake. If you've used it in a previous discussion, that's fine. It's only if a previous phase you can't use it. Yeah.
Well, I'm still going to use it anyway. Like, it's not really. It's not so much the quote itself, but what it meant was when Black Widow goes to see Hawkeye in Endgame, and then he says to don't give me hope. And like, yeah, sure, it's just a few words, but I think just the power of that is just it really helps. It puts the entire situation in a bottle of the loss that people have experienced, the pain they've experienced, that it's even more painful for them to think that their family members could come back, and that's such a slight chance of it. But that bit of hope is even worse because if it fails, that's just more pain for them. And I think that's what makes Hawkeye my de facto first hero that I couldn't use, and that's why I used that quote.
Nice. Cool. Good deep dive. Tobey Maguire rating for phase 3.
Phase 3, all up, a solid 8.
Gonna sing it?
A solid 8.
solid 8.
Okay, yeah. And why?
What? Why? What do you mean, why?
David, everything's a solid.
Like, what did phase 3 do for you?
Took a lot of hours out of my life, but no. Well,
yeah. Because you were watching it with someone else, and then you had to watch it with us.
Yeah, I know. It sucks watching things twice.
We get it.
I like the reason. No, I just think there were a lot of I think they were really great movies. Like I said, I thought Ragnarok, that's the top for me, and there were very few lows, so that's why it sticks to 8. As in, I wouldn't put it in 7 because 7, I think that would mean a lot of them were 6s and a lot of them were 7s. So, yeah, I have to stick to 8.
Cool. All right. Next up is Grant.
I'm going to go with a quote from Tony Stark.
Yep.
It's obviously the beginning of Endgame, where he says, "Part of the journey is the end."
Then again, that's the hero game.
And that obviously becomes a massive line for him, but also for us as viewers, as fans, who this is very much the end of a massive part of our lives. And it's okay to enjoy the journey, but no journey lasts forever. And you sort of knew then that even if you started watching that film, you're coming in there with the hype, but then that quote sort of went, oh shit, this is it. This movie is going to be probably the last big experience from these characters. So it really got you into that movie even more. And it really made you more emotional. Obviously, they did the whole he was going to die part, which we sort of all knew that wasn't going to happen. But, it almost made it feel like it was because it was that deep. And as obviously I said, for us, being that we were knowing we're going in there after such a long time watching these films, to me, that was a massive quote. It made you hit the feels and got you ready for that. And that was first 10 minutes of the movie and you're already bloody crying, you know what I mean? Incredible film. Obviously, Endgame's the best film of the phase. So, but besides Thor Ragnarok. But yes, that's my quote. Tobey ratings out of Maguire's. Put all the movies together. I'm going to give it phase 3. I'm going to give it a 9.2. Just because I can't really think of. Well, it's just incredible. Everything's incredible. The movies in it. Thor Ragnarok obviously puts it up a higher rating, as that film was amazing. Civil War's amazing. There's so many amazing films in this phase. Plus,
you're amazing, Grant.
Oh, thanks, man. Even though you gave me a solid 8, I'll accept it. But yeah, so 9.2 Toby's and the quote, obviously I said before. So yeah, that's it for me.
Nice. Major feels, boys. Major feels. All right. My quote is Tony says it to his dad: "No amount of money ever bought a second of time." I
No
think
amount of
within the
money ever
context
bought a
of the
second of
film, that was huge because
okay.
it was literally Tony buying time in a sense to say goodbye to his dad, because he never really got to do it because everything was so sudden. So that was huge, and it was a moment where Tony was getting closure. Now, in my hypothetical, Doctor Strange, he's trying to figure out time and stuff, trying to figure out how to beat Mysterio. And for some reason, he stumbles upon this bit where Tony's talking to his dad and he hears him say that. And that from that moment, Doctor Strange gets closure in regards to his guilt after, losing Tony, all that, yada, yada, yada. And then he sees Tony gets that and he sees Tony's at peace. He's obviously seeing Tony's family and Tony, he can live with peace because he's got closure in the sense that Tony fulfilled everything he needed to do within his life. He reached that everything point. And Doctor Strange figures out he can beat Mysterio with the amount of time he can get without buying it with money. So that is my Iron Doctor pitch. Disney, make it.
Iron Doctor.
In regards to my rating, okay, I had Phase 3 was a roller coaster of emotions. There weren't so many lows, but there were points where it did put me off the Marvel train. But at the same time, it brought us back in ways that was just like mind blowing. I mean, 2 of the movies in it, I gave 10s. So, and similar to what Chan said, I think Phase 3 was a showing of that Marvel can do anything now. Like, you can just trust the process, as Josh commented in the thing as a joke before, but like, you can trust that they've got something up their sleeve. They've got something planned that'll always bring you back. Even if a movie or 2 they create is a bit of a, not great. So, yeah. All in all, Tobey Maguire rating, I will give it a 9.5.
Wow, lovely.
So yeah, that's me. Next, Malika.
Right. So I had a quick think about this film while everyone was talking. And this one had sort of occurred to me when we were going to do this previously. And you were like, this one's Zeta, because it's dialogue between Iron Man and Doctor Strange. And it's in the final battle. And Iron Man asks this of Doctor Strange. You said 1 out of 14 million we win, yeah? Tell me this is it.
I mean, this is it.
Doctor Strange replies, if I tell you what happens, it won't happen. Iron Man replies, you better be right. For me,
that's the opening to my movie, like just that scene.
Is it? Nice. To me, that is so much more than just that exchange dialogue. Like, it's Iron Man. He's literally putting his trust. Like, we see Iron Man beginning as this self-centered, super rich, didn't care about anyone but himself, to this movie where he's literally putting everything on the line, on the word of someone he honestly probably doesn't even like that much. Doctor Strange is a massive ego compared to Tony's ego. And they just if there was more screen time, it would just be them constantly arguing with each other. But he's literally putting everything on the line and he says, you better be right. Where Doctor Strange has said, I can't tell you. This might be the one, it might not. You might go and die and nothing, and it's all the same. Thanos still wins. So he's putting his faith in a stranger's words and in his team that this is the one.
Yeah.
Everything that they've done leads up to this 1 in 14 million chances. Then it also shows, like, now we're getting Multiverse of Madness and Quantumania and all these things that have something to do with time travel, and we're still trying to understand the rules that Marvel is setting with time travel, and if you change one thing here, what does it do to the multiverse, etc. And it seems like Doctor Strange sort of already knows what it does, because he's gone, well, I can't tell you. If I tell you it's going to die, you're going to die. Then Tony maybe doesn't make a choice. And it probably happens in a lot of those 14 million, where Doctor Strange goes, yeah, you're going to get a gauntlet and you're going to snap. And that's how we win. And Tony just goes, not today.
Sort of does tell him at the end though when he does this. He basically says, "You got to be the one."
Yeah, but then that's like all the memes that have come out of that, where it's like, put it in the sky, Thanos won't be able to get it, or like just stupid things like that. But it's then Iron Man interpreting that one, where he's like, oh, maybe this is the outcome, and then he has to accept what he has to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that for me is it. That line, or those 3 lines, is the dialogue quotes for me that make this phase 3. There's lots of others. Hulk smash, Ra, Wakanda forever.
Well, Tobey Maguire ready?
Oh yeah, Tobey Maguire rating. Ooh, I forgot I had to do that. I'm gonna give it 9.4.
7.
Toby Hollands out of Tom Maguire's. And I don't actually know if I said that right. My head was trying to process it. I wasn't sure.
That's on the Garfield scale, yeah?
yeah, out of it. No, Garfield's the 0 on the scale, isn't it?
Garfield, the cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Quote and rating. Crazy.
Come, it's time. My quote. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Oh.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please. I don't want to go.
Tom Holland?
I want to go. Fuck. I'm sorry. That's actually not my quote.
I feel like I'm there.
that was Tom Holland verging on a bit of Carl at the end.
I actually just played the clip back. So if you did struggle with telling the difference, I can understand.
Oh, you were lip reading. Okay, you're sinking.
my quote is from actually King T'Chaka. And it's, you're going to struggle, so you'll need to surround yourself with people you trust. You're a good man with a good heart, and it's hard for a good man to be king. And although this was directed at T'Challa, I think it relates pretty well to every single Avenger. Every single one of them are good people. They all have like good intentions, good hearts. They all want to do the best that they can. But I feel like all of them, literally every single one, has struggled with, like we were saying, although we focused on Iron Man, trusting the people around them and actually building a circle and building a group around them. Even Cap, who is sort of more of a leader and who's sort of more, I guess, soft, we would say, in comparison to the rest of them, like finding people that he can actually trust and, let go of that bit of leadership. I think just that it relates to every single one of them. And we see every single Avenger from, the first Iron Man movie all the way to Endgame go through that journey of,
struggle,
being able to admit that they won't be able to do everything on their own and surrounding themselves with people that can help them get the job done. And that will essentially help them become who they truly are as a person. We saw Thor come into his own by trusting the people around him, Tony, Cap, T'Challa even. So yeah, that was my quote. And I am going to give the phase as a whole a 9.35 out of 9.3 Toby's out of 10 Maguires, because Captain Marvel exists. That's where it loses points for me.
I'm going to lie, Zeta, I think I'm going to change my rating.
2?
I'm going to put it, I feel like I've...
Solid 8.
I don't know, just thinking about it. I'm going to put it back. I'm going to put it to a 9.56.
Oh, hey.
9.56 Toby's out of 10 Mbappe's.
I also just think sort of, I don't know if this is exactly what Chan said before, but the fact that they finished nearly 20 years worth of movies, and it sort of literally all felt like, wow, that's it, that's complete. But I'm still so excited for what they do next.
Yeah,
like that's big.
Yeah,
like the fact that they capped it off, but they still left us wanting more is huge. So
yeah, I think.
Do you feel?
Yeah,
I'll just throw this in. Do you feel having seen Shang-Chi, you're still like, yeah, no, I'm pumped for where they're going to go forward?
100%.
Nice.
There you go.
100%. The post credit scenes are they still elite. They're still leaving you wanting to know exactly what's going on. Like you're gonna jump on.
They've seen them.
Google straight afterwards.
They've all seen them. We know what they are, Josh.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like for the people who haven't seen them, like they're gonna jump on and research what the organizations are, where they're taking it. I guess if you've seen them, then it's no real
spoilers.
We finally did it. We're finally up to date, and we finally finished phase 3. It was a good time with the boys. Good having all the boys here. Once again, thank you for watching.
我不想惹麻烦，那就把项链交出来。
You have the wrong guy. Does he look like he can fight? Come on, bro.